design is dictated by light. Look into the conservatories and you will see no pillars inside, as these cast shadows which limit plant growth. Instead, a grid shell is anchored by rows of external arches. This structure allows sunlight in any time of the day, which promotes plant photosynthesis. The giant grid shell supports thousands of glass panels. These panels are treated to maximize sunlight penetration, keeping the heat out. To your left, the flower dome features plants from the 5 continents of the world, bringing you into the cool, dry climate of the Mediterranean and semi-arid subtropical regions. The air inside is specially cooled and desiccated to match the climate these plants are native to, allowing them to thrive and burst into color. Some of the trees in the flower dome are remarkable specimens of nature, like the giant baobabs, also called overturned trees. The Mediterranean olive trees have survived a remarkably long passage of time. They are estimated to be about 1,000 years old. Bay South is filled with gastronomic delights, and there are F&B outlets throughout the gardens. One fine dining option is Marguerite, to your left, serving contemporary cuisine in a garden setting. Also tucked away in this quiet corner is the Silver Garden, coming up ahead on your right. This rentable event space is named after the silvery colored plants growing on and around its 3 super trees. Look left into the distance ahead and you will notice another 3 super trees. Can you see a spout on top of one of them? Super trees have many functions, one of which is to expel hot air from the conservatories. Catch a glimpse of the Dragonfly Lake on the right. There is a 440-meter boardwalk beside to stroll or jog along. The Marina Reservoir and 2 lakes surround Bay South, providing irrigation for plants and a cool respite for visitors. The reed bed to your right acts as a natural eco-filter to cleanse water from rain runoff. The reeds help improve the lake's water quality by absorbing excess nitrogen and phosphorus. You are now entering the Heritage Gardens, which showcases the plants that occupy a special place in the history and culture of Singapore's main ethnic groups. Welcome to the Indian Garden. Can you spot the national tree of India here? It's right in the middle of the Indian Garden, the banyan tree, also called the Bengal fig. With its tangle of roots and branches, the banyan symbolizes eternal life for Hindus. Plants, and especially trees, have huge cultural and religious significance for the Indians. In front of you, a circular opening in the wall welcomes you into the Chinese garden. This is called a moon gate, a feature found in traditional Chinese gardens and represents a full moon. For the Chinese, a garden is a reproduction of the natural environment. That's why features like ponds and boulders are common in classical Chinese gardens. A rock represents a mountain and water stands for rivers and waterfalls.
Ay, ano pala tandaan ko? Kinusa ko.
You are entering the Malay Garden, the third of the Heritage Gardens. The timber structure coming up on the right is an example of a traditional village residence known as a kampong house. There are many food plants here used by the Malays, such as pandan and the breadfruit trees on your right. Check out the mighty super trees on the left. You will see the 22-meter-high OCBC Skyway suspended from the taller super trees. This aerial walkway offers a panoramic view of Bay South and the surrounding Marina Bay area. Vertical gardens of epiphytes and flowering climbers adorn the trunks of the super trees. At 7:45 and 8:45 every evening, the Super Tree Grove serves an audio-visual treat, the Garden Rhapsody, a spectacular light and sound show that will captivate your senses. The last of the Heritage Gardens is a horticultural representation of Singapore's colonial past. The frangipani, with its white flowers, were chosen to match the black and white houses of the early British planters in Singapore. Important cash crops they brought in the 1800s are featured here. To the right are the Brazilian rubber trees and African oil palm. You are now leaving the Heritage Gardens, one of the two themed gardens at Bay South. We hope you have enjoyed learning about Singapore's culture and heritage through the plants you have just seen. You are approaching a stupendous white baby sculpture called Planet by British artist Mark Quinn. The sculpture's surroundings reflect the white theme of the colonial garden. It is the most significant of the many sculptures around the gardens, which include water buffaloes, horses, and dragonflies. Singapore's location on the equator bestows upon it perpetual summer and high rainfall, and rich flora and fauna. These are the threads that have been woven to create a city in nature. Gardens by the Bay epitomizes this vision through community event spaces such as the Meadow. You are now making your way into the Meadow, a living green space in the heart of the new downtown. This is the largest gardens event venue in Singapore, able to accommodate 15,000 people. For better acoustics, you will notice that the concert space is shaped like a bowl. On days when there are no concerts, the Meadow is a wide open space in the middle of the city for friends and family to come together, run around, or have a picnic. Look to the right and you will see a grove of kaya trees. These have stood here even before the construction of Bay South. The old trees have been retained for their nostalgic value and to provide shade for the meadow. The gardens and skyscrapers you see around you have been built on reclaimed land. In a way, Gardens by the Bay is actually made from small pieces from all over Singapore. The soil material used here has been recycled from different construction sites around Singapore, such as Marina Bay Sands and Resorts World Sentosa.